Well, here we have it. Day one of the tournament and it started. All the boats are lined up and I'm standing in the rain just for you. I'm promising you guys the best possible coverage in this poor weather. We've had a massive thunderstorm pull through here last night, ripped up most of our gazebos and setup that we have here. But I'm going to be out on the water today, hopefully. Looks like we're going to have a lot of rain up until about 10 a.m. with a big thunderstorm pulling in. It may cause a bit of havoc with the fishing and as well as our live stream, but we're super stoked to be here. I'm going to move up into the gazebo, try and keep our equipment nice and dry. And again, I'd just like to welcome all the viewers to this groundbreaking moment whereby we have live stream of the Saba 2017 13th World Black Bass Championships. It is live. If I do stutter, if I do stumble, I apologize. We'll try keep it as professional as we possibly can. But once again, if we look at the weather for today, it's going to be partly cloudy, about 10-11, a big thunderstorm pulling in. We're going to get out on the water a little bit later on. I anticipate probably around 11, 11:30, once that thunderstorm has come through. Hopefully it pulls through here, pours down on the anglers and then clears up nicely for us to get out on the water. But as you can see, all the boats lined up behind us and none of the anglers or the skippers are on the boats. That's because they're all up top having a cup of coffee and enjoying the music brought to you by John Badenhorst and up on our live stage.
It's going to be inside the tent. I'm going to do the skippers meeting now.
We're going to get through the rain as quickly as we possibly can and take a look at the stage and setup that we have here down at the casino on the Vaal River. I'm going to take a walk through the area where all the anglers are mingling. If we have a look behind me, as you can see, majority of the anglers here enjoying a nice cup of coffee, some comfort food, a rusk or two, keeping warm as the best they can. It's very difficult to see the team shirts at this moment. A lot of the guys got their 100-mile-per-hour suits on, so we can't exactly see them. What have you got? So it's an awesome vibe here in the tent, and I've managed to grab one of the South African anglers, August Lingno. August, representing South Africa on your home waters at the Vaal, how does that feel?
Yeah, I must say it's quite an immense feeling. The organisation here is quite awesome. It's by far the biggest event I've done locally. the management and just the whole setup, it's intense. First day of the comp, I must say, looking at everybody and what's going on, the nerves are quite up there.
Yeah, I must say, I know the teams have traveled from a long distance, Italy, Spain, Mexico, USA is here, and but I think the nerves for the South Africans is probably the highest.
Yeah, look, it's a home ground event, so the guys would expect you to win. But the thing is, there's some good quality teams here. USA, Zimbabwe, arch rivals through the years. They're all extremely good anglers, and they get onto a pattern quite quickly. So it doesn't mean because it's home ground advantage that we necessarily have the edge here. So this weather is also, first rain of the season, and it's a proper front that's come in, and it's been pouring the whole morning, and yeah, the river doesn't necessarily respond well to that. So it's going to make things tough, and the best team will come to the forefront.
Now that's an important factor. I touched on it very quickly this morning as we're under a lot of pressure to get things going here. But this weather, it is a big front. I had a look at the weather forecast, which is presented on waymasters.net. In fact, if you are tuning in via waymasters.net, I must just mention, no matter what country you're from, if you look in the top right-hand corner, you'll see a drop-down menu. I think it's set to a default of English. If you click on that in the top right-hand corner, you can switch to whichever relevant language suits you. So if you're out of Mexico, you can tune in Mexican, there's Spanish there, everything. So waymasters.net is a big breakthrough, I think, for our South African bass angling as well.
Yeah, it just goes to show the whole organisation of this whole event. We're catering for all the nations very nicely. The boats, that language type thing, it's all just next level. It's a comp that South Africa has never seen, and just if you look around, it's one to be remembered, and hopefully we as a country can build from this comp and take all our comps to the next level.
Yeah, I think, you've been participating, I think this is your third World Champs, is it not?
It's my second World Champs and my fifth Protea Cap. So yeah, we've been to a couple of these, and this is by far the biggest. It's by far the most nerve-wracking one as well.
And you touched a little bit on the boats that you have. Of course, you guys are running your own local boats. Is that a big advantage for you, or in terms of what you used to when you traveled to Portugal, when you traveled to Italy, you were given boats, you didn't know what to expect before you got there. I think the boats were only given to you the night before you had to fish the next day of practice, so no time to prep. Having your own boat, is that a big advantage?
Yeah, certainly. You know what you have, you know how you can plan and what you can take and what you must fix and not fix. So it does make it a lot easier, but what we've also tried to do is, make it the same for everybody. So if you look at the quality of boats here, I don't think there's less than 225 horsepower here with 20-foot decks, So I think I must congratulate the guys there, and I must congratulate all the skippers. It's guys taking off time at work, to come skipper in the rain. Can't even wet the line, So I must take my hat off to those oaks. It's big rigs that they're giving to oaks that they don't know, and just to make this a great event. So hats off to them.
Yeah, I think that's a topic that I'm going to talk about a lot today, because it really, really, really is something that we've got to be very, very thankful for. Our skippers have turned out in numbers. Just myself being on the organizing committee and doing the media coverage, I've had guys phoning me all day, all night. I had Sarl out from Durban send me a message late last night to say to me, I heard there's boats going down, I'm a phone call away, I'll hitch up my Ranger on the back, I'll drive through the night to be here as a spare boat. And I think having those spare boats is a great factor not for us, for the rest of our delegates that are here from all over the world.
Yeah, look, the guys put in a lot of effort, time to get here, and you don't want something like a mechanical keeping them away from it. So, day one of practice, we had two boat subs, and to be honest, one of those subs was my boat, and that's a lacquer rig, to have, and it's much better than we've had in the past. So, the organisation is just...
So you're not fishing off your personal boat, you're using somebody else's boat, but your boat is here and using as a spare boat for the other anglers?
Yeah, Flip Opperman, one of my friends, he's an observer this week. and he's running my boat. And the first morning they had an issue and got pulled in, and I think Russia fished off it the whole first day. So but it's how it was planned. So it wasn't a fluke. It was planned like that from months ago. So just goes to show they thought about everything.
Well, thanks very much for Flip. Flip came from my hometown all the way down in Cape Town. We're talking about a 13 to 15, 16, 18-hour drive and about a 2.5-hour flight for the guys to get here. So did Flip fly himself here, or did he get on a plane?
I think he got on a plane this time.
Well, we thank Flip for that, and thank you very much for talking to us, number one. I know everybody out there wants me to talk more and more about the fishing, and they want to know about patterns, they want to know about baits, they want to know about your style of fishing and what's going to happen throughout the week. I'm not going to ask you those questions because I know you're probably going to tell me nothing, but I am...
Ask no questions, hear no lies.
There you have it. Ask no questions, hear no lies. And here, talking about questions and lies, I mean, as the media, every single media person has signed a non-disclosure. Every single camera boat, everybody signed this non-disclosure. Do you think that's an advantage or disadvantage?
I think it's an advantage. You know, look, in the end we want to level the playing field. So, you know, it is an unfair advantage to everybody. You know, if camera boats swing around and can share information. I know that's what the public wants, but in the end, if you've got an edge, or you know, if any team here latches onto something and gets an edge, you know, you want to respect that, and if they should win because of that edge, that's the way it should be. That's what the sport is about, you know. So, I mean, leveling the playing field in that sense is not really fair, you know, because you don't get the best anglers to the forefront. So let them have their secrets. That's the way the sport is. Everything will get out to everybody anyway on Saturday. Then we'll know what the winning patterns was. So while we're fishing, let each nation have their little secrets, and it also builds their confidence. We want to, you know, each nation here, if they win, they want to know they won against the best oaks, you know, on a fair playing field. Or certainly I'm like that. So I don't want a specific info or edge, you know, to get me to clip the other oaks. I want to win them fair and square, and everybody here is a competitor, and I think they're the same. So that's why I think it's an advantage for everybody, and everybody respects it.
Okay, so let me ask you the question, because I'm going to push as much as I can about the fish, and I'm going to push as much as I can about the tactics, because I know that what everybody wants to hear. Just tell me, what is your personal best on this river?
My personal best is a 2.65 that I caught in 2013 Nationals. Yeah, so it's been a while for a big fish here, but that's more or less the size of the bigger fish here. So.
Well, I fished in that 2013 Nationals with you. If I am correct, you won it.
Yeah, that's correct. That's the one I won. It was a good year for me. So it's a venue I loved. So just got it all together in that week. So hopefully we can do it again.
Well, again, I'm very thankful for you for taking the time to talk to us. I know you got to get to the captain's meeting or the skipper's meeting. I know the rest of your crew are waiting. Tell me about the team that you're fishing with, the South African team.
Yeah, look, I think it's a phenomenal team, a good blend of experience and youth. We've got probably 3 of the better river anglers around, which is myself, Justin Farquharson and Daryl Quinton. And yeah, I think, you know, the 3 of us with the likes of Richard Eldridge, which is, I mean, the last 5 years he's been extremely consistent in putting fish in the boats and getting top results. We've got Shane Estrin, which is multiple world champs angler. I think if even fished with you at world champs. And then Ruan Val, which is probably one of the youngest guns ever to fish world champs for South Africa. But you know, the experience in him at his age, he's a phenomenal angler. So I think we're a good all-around team. I think the fishing suits us, all of us. So yeah, hopefully we can pull it. Look, in the end, we're fishing against great anglers, and on the day you need a little bit of luck. you need a little guidance from above, and yeah, hopefully we can listen and we can get it all together. That's as easy as that.
Well, again, thank you very much for talking to us. I really appreciate it. All the best to you and the rest of the South Africans. Not only South Africa, but the rest of the world will be watching. So no pressure. Best of luck. And as you guys say down here, I know your vice captain likes to say it, go put bubbles on their backs. Thanks, so there we have it. One of the members of the South African team, August Lingno, and a well-schooled angler on this Vaal River. We're going to cut to a shot that we filmed yesterday with one of our premium sponsors. Have a look at what John Minnie from Lowrance had to say. Well, here we are at the Lowrance booth with a very well-known South African representative, John Minnie. He's our local expert from Lowrance, and we're very happy to have Lowrance supporting us here on the Vaal River. Lowrance has been a SABA sponsor for many years, and we're very thankful to have you here, John. John, you've offered up your assistance from now till the end of the tournament with regards to assisting the anglers and the skippers with the boats. Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so what we want to do is we obviously want to make sure that all the Lowrance boats in the competition, we do have majority of the boats running Lowrance on their boats. So we want to make sure that all the units are working. We want to make sure that the units are network. You want to make sure that they're running the correct maps. And we want to make sure that everyone has got a good time on the water.
So what we traditionally would see at a World Championships is 50-odd boats for all the representatives from all over the world. You would get your boats and it's a lucky pack, a lucky draw, whether you have a Lowrance or a Hummingbird or any Echo or Fish Finder for that instance. But at this event, something that's special, we have a fleet of boats that are really top end boats, and we're also going to, let's say, level the playing fields by having a fair electronics spread on those boats for all the anglers.
Yeah, like I said, the majority is Lowrance, so you know, if the guys jump from boat to boat over the next couple of days, they'll be used to the electronics, because every boat is running, well, most of the boats are running Lowrance HDS systems, either from Gen 2, Gen 3 or the new carbon range. So the interfaces between the three ranges are pretty much exactly the same. So it'll be easier for the guys to adjust when they jump from boat to boat.
Now you're going to be on display here and you've got this array of massive screens here. If our TV screens do go down at the weigh station, we're going to ask John to fire up that 16 and interlink us there as well. It's so big. But run us through this unit. I mean, traditionally the guys like to have 2 7s up front, one for map, one for sonar. Tell me about the 16.
Okay, so what we've basically done is we've always had the 7, 9 and the 12-inch range, and the guys were asking for a bigger screen, so we went back to Lowrance International. We said to them we need a 16-inch, and yeah, there it is. It's called the Sweet 16. It's got the new SolarMax HD display, so for the guys fishing with polarized lenses, especially in Africa, you know, the sun is a bit harsh, so even with your polarized lenses, turning your head, it doesn't black out, so you can see it from a 180-degree view. You can see the screen, so especially for the guys that are having them flat on the floor, on the nose of the boat, or on a ram mount at the console, it's very, very easy to see.
Now tell me, where does the carbon come into it? Is it just the name, or is there some form of function inside the screen LEDs display that is integrated a carbon pattern or some sort?
No, the carbon is just a range model that they went with. And obviously it's got a bit of extra features, like I explained, the SolarMax HD display, and it's also got dual channel chirp, so which means that we can run multiple frequencies at the same time, which will give the angler a better definition of the bottom, better target separation, a better clarity of the water, so it makes it a lot easier for the guys to find the fish.
Well, there you have it. Thanks, John, for being here, and thanks to Lowrance South Africa for supporting this great event. We're very, very happy to have you here as technical backup, and we look forward to a great competition. I'm sure we'll see some fantastic charts on the Lowrance units throughout this week, and really the South Africans have put on a good show here so far. We're looking forward to kicking things off, and we thank you for your support once again. We'll see you later on in the week. So we've moved our position back down to our makeshift studio here. We are so freestyling this thing as it's new for us, but I'm here with Ruben. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his surname because I might mess it up, and I'm sure I'm going to have a couple of those blunders as the week goes on stage. But Ruben, thanks for taking the time to talk to me. How's your trip into South Africa?
Yes, it's been a nice trip. Thank you for everything. You are very nice people. You are organizing a very nice tournament. Everything is perfect. And our trip was long. We came from Spain to Dubai, and later we came here. But we are very happy to see the river, to see all the people, and we will try to do our best. The river is very complicated. Fish are in small spots. Everything is nice, but not every places have fish, and we will try to find them. Maybe today with the weather they have changed. We will see. We are new to this. We have only been here 2 days, and today is completely different. So we have to be clever today.
Yeah, I think that the weather may play a part, and I hope you don't get too wet. I think you're looking pretty geared up there in your rain gear. The fishing back home, is it very similar to what you have here?
Yes, similar in my home lake, which is Fayón, is a river with same level all the year, so there is a lot of vegetation in the bank. And fish are also in small spots. There I know most of them. Here I only have a couple of spots, but I think tomorrow and today I will learn a lot of the river. I hope I will do my best, but it's difficult to find the fish here.
And putting a team together from Spain, tell me about that process in order to select that team.
Well, for example, in my case, I am from a small region of Aragon, which is called Aragon, and Aragon have three three different parts. You have to qualify in one of the small parts to go for the Aragon part, which is a part of Spain, and when you qualify again, you go to the Spanish Championship, and if you are between the three, you are the first, the second, or the third of the Spanish Championship, you come here. So it's difficult to come.
So much like our qualification process where we have our divisions of South Africa, we go to a national competition and then we take our top-seeded anglers. Is there a history that's involved there? Is it only that 1 year or do you have previous years?
No, I've a lot of years. This is my third World Championship. I was in Lake Garda in Italy, I was in Venezuela, and this is my third. And in Spain a lot of time making the tournament and coming to the World Championship. In Spain, normally it's first, second and third. But this year, I think this year they have started making first and second of the Spanish Championship. And the third couple comes from the ones that have repeated several Spanish Championships. The one that is better qualified in the Spanish competition. Okay.
And so try and give me a bit of an understanding of how many anglers do you have over in Spain?
Oh, too many. There are a lot of lakes, very, very nice lakes. I mean, too many, maybe it's not the word. A lot of them, okay? We don't have so nice boats, maybe smaller boats. But we also have big boats, but not here. You all have very, very nice boats. And the fishing is normally different than here because there are lakes, artificial lakes. They are going up and down and those things. So the water level is not in the same place like my home lake. I feel here like at home, but I can't find them.
Well, that's very interesting, and that's great to note. And something that maybe a lot of people won't think about is that perhaps some of the countries that are here, like yourself from Spain, do fish a similar river system back home and can apply some of those techniques and fishing, used to fishing those types of structures. And maybe those countries will start to move their way up the leaderboard as we start the day off. How excited are you to get out there and start catching fish?
I feel difficult because I think local people know the spots. You know, in fishing, to know where the fish are is 90%. America, USA, they know everything about this, so they will be high, of course. And I think there have been some teams have been training before the tournament. Maybe with more time in the river, you can find the spots better than in only 2 days for 100 kilometers of bank. Everything nice is difficult to find the fish. We have the Lowlands map is a very nice help for us, and it makes it easier. But it is still really difficult because what I have learned in these 2 days is that fish are in small places, very small places. You see 1 kilometer bank, everything is similar, and they are only in 15 meters. Well,
so we won't get too much into the techniques that you're fishing, but I hope that you're going to share that information with me after today and maybe a little bit more tomorrow. And on day 3, you will reveal all your tactics and techniques, because it's going to be very...
We are fishing close to the bank. We will. We think big fish is not there. Have tried to get them, and but we didn't. Only a small fish. So today we will try to find the big fish, because with the small ones I think we have nothing to do. I have heard that the winning back will be around 8 kilos. I don't know. We are far away from that at this moment. Maybe with the day we learn something more, but at this moment we are not in position to do that weights.
And when you were out here on your practice day, or some of the countries call it the training day, did you manage to hook any fish, or did you shake them off?
Well, at the beginning we fish them because we don't know if there are other species that are baiting. We have in Spain we have walleye, we have other kind of bass that with I don't know the name. Small, not small, it's fluviatilis. I don't know the name. And I don't know if there is pike or there is catfish. So we have fished some fishes, and the other ones we didn't hook them.
Okay, well, we wish you the very best of luck. I'm very thankful to have you here and talking to me. I know it's difficult with the language barrier. Have you got a lot of people tuning in and messaging from your homeland or watching live on TV?
Yes. Everybody in Spain is watching our messages in Facebook, and I know some friends will be looking the TV weighing and all that you are doing here.
Well, this is live, and I'm in control. If you would like to send a message back home in your home language, please feel free to do it.
Bueno, aquí estamos representando a España. Saludos a la familia y a los amigos y a todos los que estéis mirando. Nada, lo haremos lo mejor que podamos. Saludos a todos.
Thank you very much. All I understood was familia and amigos. Thank you very much. And I'm joined with another one of my amigos. So we're going to switch as quickly as we can to these interviews. One of my other amigos from Cape Town, he's joined us up here on the Vaal River. Martin, thanks for joining us. You're not fishing, you're not participating, but you have played a pivotal role in this week's tournament up until this point. Tell me about that.
Well, I got a phone call on Monday night from Craig. The boys from Swaziland blew a gearbox. They needed a spare boat. Mine was here already, and now they're using it. They're ready to go, just over there, and I wish them well.
Well, that's totally awesome. So you flicked your rig here, you left it for us here, you gave us the lowdown, and you said it's there, it's on standby, anything you need, just put it in the water and go. Did you think that we were going to use it or not?
Actually, I thought I'd get here today, and I thought I would use it just to go up and down the river for a jolly and see what was happening. I didn't expect the guys' boats to break down, but these things happen, especially when the pressure's on. And yeah, I'm just glad that they can make use of it.
Yeah, and I think it's great from a South African point of view to see all the skippers getting involved in this event. It's pouring with rain outside. We think the anglers are going to have a tough time spending the whole day in this water. Just think about the skippers. They're going to be sitting huddled underneath their console, trying to keep dry. You know, normally when you're fishing, you're moving around, so you burn up a bit, you get a bit of heat. Those guys are going to be sitting dead still on their boats.
Well, I think I'd prefer to be a skipper in weather like this, because then you can at least hide under your console and stay dry. I think the anglers are going to have an interesting time with it being wet, especially on the river. But they'll do well if they've done their homework.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that we actually can't ask Martin. I would like to ask you because I know you do know this river fairly well, fishing up here quite often over the years. Difficult to not ask questions because everybody does want to hear about the fishing. But I tell you what, why don't you give me a prediction for the average weights on all 3 days that'll win this tournament?
I think today, with the weather and the conditions, I think 6.5, 7 kilo bag on day one. I would say a 6 kilo to 5.5 on day two. And then day three, I think someone's going to pull out the stops and we'll be finding a nice 8.5 kilo bag.
Wow, 8.5 kilo bag. We heard 8 kilos from the Spanish guy, so maybe that's a bit of a benchmark. If my sums are correct, and I've never been good at maths for the people tuning in from overseas, it's around 16, 17 pounds?
Yeah, 8.5 kilos, 16-pound bag.
So we will be working in kilograms. That's the system that we have on weighmasters.net. So we were working in a kilogram weight scale, whatever, metric, whatever you want to call it. Thanks. That's why I brought you here, to help me out of this live stream. So we will convert it perhaps on weighmasters.net into pounds. I'm not sure if it is possible, but we'll see if we can get Johan to try and figure that out. But weighmasters.net, converting that into all the relevant different languages. What do you think of that?
That's why there's an IT department. They obviously have to have the skills and necessary tools to do these things. But I think it's a great portal and a great website to host these kind of events, especially for the South African tournament trails and divisional tournaments. But I think for a world-class event like this, I think it's fantastic.
Well, Martin, thank you very much for joining us. And again, thanks very much for allowing the competitors from Swaziland. I spoke to Matt, who's the skipper of the boat yesterday, and he was really disappointed that his rig went down. Actually, his whole gearbox is stripped. So we had the guys out here from Yamaha rip the gearbox off, put a new one, and I think they're still busy fixing a few additional bigger problems with that engine. So they're feeling comfortable on your rig. Thank you very much for loaning it to them. I think it was 5 minutes they were back on the water. So we're looking forward to that. Thank you for joining us here, Martin. Have a good week. Maybe we'll catch you on the water. Maybe let's touch on that subject for a bit. I think there's a lot of guys that have been sending messages and posting it online, you know, especially the South African guys. If we bring our boats, can we launch there? Can we be on the water? Can we watch the Americans? Can we follow the spectators, follow the anglers? Can we watch the South Africans? What's your view on that, and what do you think is the most respectful distance that those spectator boats should stay?
I think it'll be great if the spectators are allowed to go and view the guys doing the fishing and things like that. But I think it's important that they hold a sort of a minimum of 100 meters, maybe 150 meters. Give the guys their space. Obviously, don't share any information. Don't give any tips and tricks away. I like to think that the South African spectators will respect that. But yeah, minimum 100, 150 meters, I think, will be satisfactory.
So, in this FIPSED tournament, another thing to note, they discussed it at one of the captains' meetings, is they don't use what we would call a casting rule distance. They've just said a blanket 50 meters from the next boat, that's it. So I think you're 100% correct. If you're anywhere between I'm going to push it to 150 meters. Let's rather start way off and be very respectful and mindful of the anglers that are fishing a world championships. Let's not get up close there. Let's not start asking Scott Marston questions. Give them the respect that they need. They're here to do their job and they're here to fish. And of course, they're here to have fun. Again, Martin, thank you very much for tuning in with us. We're going to cut now, let you enjoy some of the scenes from around here. I'm going to have a drink of water because I'm quite parched, and we'll catch up with you guys later. Go, go. So a beautiful national anthem there. Unfortunately, we couldn't get close up on the South African team in this rain, but we promise we'll get a close-up shot of that in the days to come. A beautiful start to the day. It's been great. We're going to continue to roll it out here at the Vaal River 2017 World Black Bass Championships. I'm not allowed to use the umbrella. I have to stand in the rain and get wet, but for me that's fine. Let's protect the camera gear so we can give you guys the best coverage possible. And we're about to get this day started with Vessi vessels kicking off the boats. As you'll see, they're all lined up in their relevant pegs, put in their countries. We've got 3 boats in the docks, and let's get this day started.
To go for flight A. To go for flight A.
Guys, don't worry about your boats. I'll get this engaged today.
A flight ready to go in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. Idle speed only.
Which way is it going? Go! Go! So which way is it going then?
Well, the atmosphere is electric here. There's cheers from that side, there's cheers from this side. These teams are raring to go. As we pull Flight A out, you'll see it's not your normal start that we have down in the Sable rules where we exit the gate in a number 1 by 1. The teams will exit 2 by 2 out the gate, idling up to the middle section. From there, whether they're going up the river or down the river, 2 by 2, they will exit then to another set of buoys placed at the end of the dock. Safety always comes first on the river, and then they are ready to thunder to their first fishing spot.
Right, guys, in the beach box, that is what we're looking for.
It's interesting to note here, as the first flight goes down, it's clear where most of the competitors are heading. So as they head up to the gates, the decision is made, and it looks like all the action is happening down the river. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13 boats all headed downriver out of Flight A, not a single one upriver. So maybe that's going to make it easier for the camera crew. We know which way we got to pull out at when we get to the gates, but hopefully this weather clears and we are able to get on the water with the camera gear. I'm not worried about getting wet. I'm just worried about the camera crew.
Hang on, guys, hang on. Wait for me. Just go back to your pick.
Should we really charge these 200? I think so too.
Hey, B flight, you're only allowed to start at 7:05. Just stay in your area. Wait for my call. I'll give you the countdown similar to flight 8. 2 minutes to go.
Prendidos y no se escuchan. Nada. Son 400, ¿no?
1 minute to go for flight. B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7, B8, B9, B10, B11, B12, B13. B-flight, idle speed only, idle speed only.
So as Flight B pulls off, this is really interesting. It's quite simple to note which end of the river the fish are all on. And if I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen one boat move upriver. So it's clear the better fishing areas are down towards the lock area, as well as possibly the Millionaires Bend area, maybe down by the hotels and the bigger houses. So possibly going to see a lot of dock fishing throughout this week. Maybe some key areas. There's an area down by the lock with a lot of reeds, a lot of offshore stuff. Who knows? as we'll find out later on this week. That's Flight B. As you can see them running out. A little bit of tension on the dock here from Vessi Vessels, but it commanding the teams very nicely. The teams have to remain on their docks in the position. The flights go out at different times, and so they come back at different times. So it's to ensure fairness that all those teams get the same amount of time to fish throughout the day, as well as stagger the boats out the slipway, off the water and through the weigh station this evening. Not to worry, you're welcome to join me up here if you want. One of the managers from Team Mexico, and we're going to hang around a bit. We're going to watch Flight C pull off in about 5 minutes time, and then we will cut the live feed, maybe 1 or 2 interviews. We'll see what we can slip in and then try get us on the water.
The next guy is 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. Seconds to go. 50 seconds to go. Flight C, get ready to go in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Flight C, you can go. You can go. 4, turn out. C6, C4, C5, hold on for C1.
Well, as we take a look at Flight C, we see Justy Farquharson, the South African team captain, somebody who knows this river very, very well. And again, I haven't seen a single boat turn left and go upriver, so below river playing a pivotal role there. It's going to be interesting to see what lines these guys take to get down to that bottom area there as Justy exits the gates, powering through on his roughneck Yamaha all the way through. Probably going to meet the guys on the corner and have a little bit of a race down at the bottom there. But we're excited that the 13th World Black Bass Championships has officially kicked off. Today we will see all the anglers come in through our weigh-in station, something really, really new for South African bass, and we're looking forward to it. I'll be up on stage a chat to some of the anglers. I'll push as hard as I possibly can to find out the most I can about the fishing. If you're unsure where to watch this, number one, I'll say it again, and I'll say it throughout the week as well. First and foremost, we're streaming through YouTube on Just Fishing. If you can't find the link, just search for Just Fishing or Mark Bywater, and you will find the Just Fishing page. Click on the page, subscribe, and you'll be notified as soon as we go live. Yes, we will try and stick to the schedule that we've posted as best as we possibly can, but we can't control the weather and we can't control the technical issues that we have. So just like they have over in the States, it will be determined by the signal that we can find on the river. If you can't find us on YouTube, you're welcome to tune in to www.waymasters.net. That's where we'll be streaming all the scores. Just make sure I don't step off the jetty here. That's where we'll be streaming all the scores. You'll have all the standings. So you'll see the live stream up in the top right-hand corner if you're looking at your screen. And you will see the standings for the day and the previous day. You'll see some stats up around the middle of the fish court of the previous day, possibly the biggest, the average weights, all the information that you want to see will be there. You can also click on the relevant anglers' names and see their profile that they have posted up there with some interesting information for them. So to recap, that's number one, first and foremost, YouTube page, Just Fishing. From Just Fishing, we'll link it to waymasters.net. And if you don't have that, any of those platforms, well, then you need to step into the 21st century here. But you can tune in from the 13th Black Bass World Championships official Facebook page. That'll be posted up there. We'll try and put those links on waymaster.net. We'll put them on the descriptions of these videos. And all the anglers have gone. Important to note, some people have commented and asked, why is there no official live well inspections? Well, that's because the live well inspections were done as every single boat came down the launch ramp and launched. They opened up their hatches, they checked their live wells, so there's no water and no fish inside those live wells. So live well inspections are done. Boats have pulled up on the docks. The excitement and the vibe is absolutely fantastic. We're not caring about the rain. It's still a beautiful atmosphere here. Every time Vessi calls out a flight, you hear a cheer from the back, you hear a cheer from the anglers. They're super excited, we're super excited. I've said excited so many times today. I've said Vaal River so many times today. But last but not least, we're going to be holding a competition. I'm going to put together a beautiful hamper with some Lowrance, Mercury, Just Fishing, maybe some, I'm going to try steal one of those beautiful books that were signed by all the anglers, including the full South African and USA team. And the question is very simple. It may be a little bit difficult, but if you can tell me or tell us, and post down below, post your answers down below, if you can tell us how many species, registered species of fish you find in this Vaal River, how many species of fish you can find in this Vaal River, we will choose the first correct answer and we will send you and put together a beautiful, beautiful memorabilia pack from the 13th World Black Bass Championships. And if you're coming down here this week, pull in for the kids, bring the whole family. There's food, there's drinks, there's beers. It's a great vibe down here. There's a tent if you're worried about the rain. There's big screen TVs to watch footage of the live coverage throughout the day. There'll be jumping castles. There'll be casting kids competitions. Solly's Angling Corner have a full tackle store here. If there's not enough tackle at this venue, they said they're welcome to ship you and drive you into their stores close by. So lots to do here, lots to see here. I'm super excited to end this live feed so that I can have a cup of coffee, warm up, and have some water. So until later on, the next time we go live, we'll be on the water with some coverage from the anglers. Thanks for watching. Check you guys later.